It comes from the Most High. He knows God can instantly, vaporize him if God wanted. But his pride stopped him from following an order. Pride. So we have to now have this balance and check of ourselves. Are we going to be the slave to our own ego, our pride, our arrogance, or are we going to finally submit and surrender? This is what Islam is, in a nutshell. You submit and surrender. Surrender is something at what point? You realize there is nothing else. You say, okay, that is the only one worthy of worship, and you surrender yourself, your will. So unless we surrender, which is the ultimate reality for us, then we would not be very happy in the hereafter, and the hereafter is a life that is with no end.
Right, but as an atheist, I don't believe in the hereafter. I believe when you're dead, you are dead. Being an atheist does not make me a bad person. I can still be a good person. I can be a doctor for all you know, save many lives.
You believe there is a first cause?
As an atheist, it doesn't stop me from doing that.
But you believe there is a first cause. If there is a first cause, that is the creator.
A beginning.
No, that is the creator. The cause is the creator of our universe. That cause is conscious. That cause has a will. That cause has energy, and that cause, the first cause, has characteristics. This cause is one who communicated to us. This cause is the one who gave us life. So you are not an atheist in any way, shape or form. You already believe in a creator of our universe, the first cause. You already believe that he is the one who created us. So you cannot just simply say I'm an atheist.
I'm not religious in any aspect. I believe when you're
That's
dead,
different.
you're dead.
No, religious and
You're
non-religious.
dead, that's the end.
My friend, being someone who acknowledges there's a creator and someone who acknowledges and follows the will of the creator are two different things.
Yeah.
You acknowledge there's a creator, but choose not to worship anyone.
Yes.
Okay.
And believe when you're dead, you're dead.
Yeah.
That is the end.
That is the end. That's what
So
you believe.
be nice to people when you're here.
Yeah.
Because when they're dead, it's too late.
But if death is not the end of it, when the creator says that is not the end of it, then what chance do you have? You are not an atheist.
That is the end.
No, you are not an atheist. You believe in the first cause. You believe this first cause is eternal. You believe the first cause is powerful. You believe the first cause is conscious. You believe the first cause has knowledge and will. You believe the first cause communicates to us because the first cause created us. So what makes you an atheist?
Well, you can't tell me where the first cause came from.
The first cause, as we explained earlier, doesn't come from anywhere. The first cause is the first cause is the first cause. There is no cause before that. Yeah.
I'm not convinced that I would want to choose religion personally.
Would you want to choose gratitude against ingratitude? If someone gave you life, should you not? That's what we're saying. So don't use the terminology of religion because people are often put off by religion because religion apparently causes all these problems. Religion apparently caused the First World War. Religion apparently caused the Second World War, which it didn't, right?
No,
so most of the casualties in human suffering was caused by
a lot.
non-religion.
Yeah.
Non-religion.
Different religions.
No, not religion. Non-religion. Second World War was not a religious war.
No, but a lot of conflicts have been caused over.
No, I'm saying if you were to now count the numbers of people who died, who were murdered, innocent people that got killed by religious activities, fanaticism and extremism, compared to secularism, belief in no God or atheism, the atheism has a bigger number.
Right.
Yeah, secular ideas, atheistic ideas has a bigger number of casualties than religious casualties. But what I'm saying is, I'm not going to count numbers. What I'm asking you simply is this. I'm not asking you to be religious in the sense of this being extreme. We are asking you to be what? A balanced individual who is just. The Quran, you know what the Quran says? Speak the truth. Be a just witness, even if it is against you and your nearest kin and kith and kin.
The Bible says similar.
Maybe. It's the same message from God. But Quran spells it out very clearly. You should stand firm in justice. Don't swerve yourself from justice, even if it is against you or your family and kith and kin.
Yeah, it's
Now,
just is just.
so Quran is asking you to be just, and if you follow that way of justice, you're following the way of God. That becomes your way of life. If you follow the way of speaking the truth all the time, then you follow the way of God. Do you want? Okay.
Right, isn't that what a good person would do?
Okay.
If you told lies, you would not be a good person.
Exactly. A good person
Would be
should
honest.
have no objection to follow the way and guidance that God has given, because God gives guidance which is the best for us, and He gives us guidance which is the best of all the guidance in terms of morality and ethics and so on. So God is not going to give us a guidance say you cheat and you kill
No, that
and
would
you
be wrong.
deceive. God doesn't do that. So when God gives us all of this, if you are a good person, you'd have no objection whatsoever. So you would have no reason to disbelieve in this way of life Islam presents to you. So if you believe there's a God,
Christianity would present the same rules.
Christianity
But I'm not a Christian.
could have. But what happened was Christianity has fallen short of being corrupted. So for example, if you ask the Christians, how do we govern our society with economic laws? Should we deal with interest or not?
Muslims don't have interest, do they? They don't pay interest or something.
They shouldn't deal with interest at all. God declares a war against usury and interest. But the world is immersed in usury and interest so
How
far.
would you buy a house?
If you have money, buy it. If you don't have money, rent it.
So if you didn't have money, you could never own a house
No.
as a Muslim.
If you don't have the money, how can you own it?
In England, in Christianity, you go to a bank, borrow the money, pay the interest.
Why interest? So you're saying it's like this.
Eventually, you'd own the
Now,
house.
let's understand what you're saying. So I am in need of something. So I'm already in a weak position. So I'm come to you, please help me. You're the bank. And you say, I got a victim now. Okay, here is £50,000. Give me 75,000 bucks at the end.
Which is
so,
what we do,
so,
yeah.
so what you did, you took my weakness and you abused my weakness for your greed and you exploited me. Were you a good person?
He'd say it wasn't
No,
greed.
were you a good person?
Yes, you needed the money, I loaned you the money.
No. If you are a good person, you demand the same money back. Why am I going to give you more
No,
money?
because it's taken him 25 years before he gets his money back. And in that time, he's got outgoings, he's got staff to pay, the building to pay.
If you're rich, if you have all the money already,
Right.
let's understand this.
It's a bank.
Say you're
It's
not a
a
bank, you're an individual.
No, it's a bank.
I'm
You
gonna,
go to a bank.
No, I'm going to take you. You're an individual, right?
Okay.
You're quite rich. You're a billionaire, and I ask for £50,000, and you say give me £75,000 back. Now, why would you do that as a good person?
It doesn't work like that. You go to a bank.
No, I'm asking you. You are an individual. If you demand £25,000 extra, what does it tell you about you being a good person?
That you're running it like a bank,
No.
like a company.
Would you still consider yourself as a good person by abusing my weakness and exploiting me when I was in need? You should have been compassionate. You should have said, you know what? I give you £50,000. If you can't give it back, no problem. That would have been even more sensible, like if you're a billionaire. But if you said, look, I've given you my money, but give me back, that's justice. But if you demand more, that's unjust.
If I demand less than the bank demands,
No, forget the bank. You as an individual, if you demand the same, that's justice.
no, less than the bank. Otherwise, you go
No,
to the
forget
bank.
the banks. You're confusing the issues of banking. If you demand more than I bought from you,
Yeah.
that demonstrates you are committing an act of injustice.
I would say it wouldn't, because I could take that money, give it to a bank, and he'd pay me interest.
You're talking about banks again. If you are a billionaire and you saw I was in need, so instead of helping me, what you're doing is you're exploiting my weakness and you're saying you have to pay, you're giving me a penalty on my head, saying, you know what,
Right.
because I'm being good to you, but I'm going to punish you and I'm going to ask you to give me 25% extra or something.
Right, you're saying a need. If you have a broken leg and you need an operation, that is a need. If you want a house, that's not really a need.
Don't buy it then.
Lend me £100,000.
No.
I want to buy a house. A need.
No, you've solved the problem. If it's not a need to buy it, don't buy it, rent it. No interest.
Right, but if you're a Christian, you go to a bank.
Christians are not following justice law of justice here. This is example precisely I've been using. Their dealings are not just.
They are.
Justice
They are.
demands that you deal not with interest. Interest is exploitation.
Right.
Exploitation. Exploitation. You need to get this properly. Exploitation.
All right. So another thing, are you allowed allowed to gamble?
Exploitation again. Why would you gamble and chance?
No, let me finish. What about insurance? Life insurance, fire insurance, burglary insurance, car insurance?
No. There are a lot of things like this on uncertainty Islam doesn't allow. People make a lot of money by this kind of insurance systems. But if something is absolutely necessary in something, then Muslims are maybe compelled to follow certain law of the land.
So we don't car insurance. That's legal.
Because that's how you're compelled in this land.
Yeah.
But Islam doesn't deal with this kind of uncertainties. Islam says, you know what, you can trade, you can do businesses, and you can have the profit from it. You can have partnership and contracts and say, you know what, you get 25%, I get 25%, or whatever partnership deal that you have. But you cannot deal with unjust system of usury and interest, that is exploitation. Gambling, what does it do to people? I don't know. Okay? I have to defer to someone who knows. But the basics I am saying is this, coming back to the systems again. There are many systems in the world which are not based on justice. The capitalist system is not based on justice. It's based on people's exploitation of weaknesses.
Making money.
Yes, greed, and greed. Islam says, no, you can have this desire, but you have to work for it. Once you have something, enough wealth, don't be stingy. Don't be, what we call it, like, you know, have it all for yourself.
Hoard it.
Hold it, use it, or give it to someone who can use it. If you have lots of lands uncultivated, give it to someone who will use it if you don't use it.
Right.
If you have a lot of wealth, your wealth, the people who are poor and needy, they have a right on your wealth. 2.5% of your surplus wealth. 2.5% of your surplus wealth. So you distribute that, the state will distribute it to the poor because this is a surplus wealth that you have. Okay? But if you don't want to do it, that really shows you're not a decent human being. You're mean. You know what? You, every single time I ask a question, you come up with beautiful answers. Because you know what the answer is. No, I'm saying you know the answers because you are a good person. Right. You are a thinking person. You are a wise person. Right. So the one thing that's remaining from you is this. Sit down in the early morning of the day with no disruption.
No cameras. Yeah.
No cameras. And ask yourself, why am I not surrendering to the one who gave me life?
I like capitalism.
So let's end it there and invite you to...
I will warn you out, you wear most people out.
No, what I'm saying is... What we're saying...
Thank you very much.
What was your name?
Derek.
Derek, I'm Mansour. What I'm saying is... There are lots...
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. You know, you're a very wise person and you're a very kind person too. So please take it forward and continue reflecting. Open up the Quran and see for yourself and discover for yourself what the Quran has to say to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.